Today in this class we will look the result of civil disobedience movement and quit India movement also, right? So here we see that after the civil disobedience movement, when it was going there, Britishers have did lathi charge, firing on them, right? And here about 90,000 satyagrahis who participated in this civil disobedience movement, and Congress members, leaders, then Gandhiji, all they were sentenced to jail. They were kept in jail. 110 persons were killed. 300 people got injured in police firing, and media was not allowed to print these happenings. The Britishers succeeded in suppressing civil disobedience movement and also succeeded dividing Indian people by moving very closely with Muslims, jamindars, and minorities. In this way, Britishers they divide people of Indians into two groups. That is the policy we call divide and rule policy. Here, Congress and Gandhiji also they started a constructive program that is showing the unity among diversified Indians by wearing a Qadar. It is a symbol of unity. So Qadar dress they worn, and they stopped practicing of untouchability, which is a social evil practiced at that time. What you call untouchability. Untouchability was removed to bring unity among all people and develop a social cohesion. Social cohesion in the sense unity among all sections of the people. So this is the important point here we need to understand, that is women also they joined Gandhiji by removing parda system. Number of Muslim women who practiced parda system, they came out of homes, joined the Gandhiji on the call of Gandhiji. Finally, Britishers also they passed an act after the end of civil disobedience movement. Britishers passed an act that what we call a Government of India Act 1935. Government of India Act 1935. This act provided provincial autonomy. What is the provincial autonomy? There, British India, there our India when was under British rule, when it was under British rule, there Britishers divided their British India into provinces. So as per Government of India Act in 1935, at provinces elections would be conducted, and winning political parties are allowed to form the government there according to Government of India Act 1935. Okay, autonomy means self rule. So at a province level, self rule could be established by political parties which wins in elections. So this Government of India Act permitted to conduct elections. So in 1937, in British India, not in India, British India. In British India, in 1937, elections were conducted for the provincial legislatures. There, Congress Party, our Indian National Congress Party also contested in elections. In 11 provinces, Congress contested, but it succeeded in 7 provinces. Out of 11 provinces, in 7 provinces, government was formed by the Congress Party. After this, in September 1939, that means in 1937, Congress succeeded forming its government in 7 provinces. So 2 years after the Congress rule in provinces, another major world war started, that is the Second World War. In 1939, Second World War started, and that was a critical time. Congress leaders faced a difficult situation during the Second World War time. Okay, because whether we have to support Britishers in the Second World War, or we should fight against British, which is our enemy, right? Or we should support Hitler, to whom we were not at all interested. Hitler followed fascism, that is Nazism. Nazism is the ideology of Hitler, so we are against to it. So whether we have to join with Hitler to defeat the Britain, or to support the British in the Second World War. So this is the critical situation to the India. So here our Congress leaders, they were ready in 1939 to support Britain in the Second World War. And for our support, the Congress leaders wanted that India should be granted a freedom after the end of Second World War. We, that is our Congress leaders, thought that by giving support to British in the Second World War, British would come down in giving independence to India. Okay, but here we see that Britishers refused to give independence to India. They rejected the demand of the Congress, that is granting independence to India. As we decided to support British in the Second World War, then also Britishers not ready to give independence to India instead. So during this Second World War time, British did not consult to the Congress leaders who formed government, that is a Congress ministers who formed a government at 7 provinces. Congress ministers also part of the British rule. In 7 provinces, they formed the government. So the opinion of the Congress ministers should be taken during the World War II time. Britishers did not take the opinion and did not consult to the Congress ministers and declared that Congress, that is India, would help Britishers in Second World War. So this is the point here which made our Indians to fight for quit India, that is making the British to quit India. So Congress ministers, those who formed a government in 7 provinces, they resigned from what they resigned to their ministries to show protest against the Britishers' decision that not giving independence to India. So here we see that Congress ministers which formed a government in 1937, they resigned to their ministries in 1939 when British refused to accept the demand for freedom of India. Then after our Congress with Gandhiji decided to launch third major movement, that is Quit India movement. Quit means leave. So Britishers should leave India immediately. It means immediately independence should come for India. So to get complete freedom and to make Britishers to move out of India in 1942, Gandhiji started his third major movement, that is Quit India movement. What is the first major movement? It is non-cooperation movement, right, in 1920s. Second major movement, it is a civil disobedience movement in 1930s. And third major movement, that is Quit India movement. During this Quit India movement time, Gandhiji inspired the all Indians by giving a short slogan, that is do or die. Do or die. Karo ya maro. Either you should do something in achieving independence or die in achieving independence. This is the mean of a do or die. So here in Quit India movement started in India when Britain refused to give or grant independence after the end of the Second World War. So Britain wanted to use our Indian people and our Indian resources during the Second World War time. So here Congress demanded that in return of our we people are supporting to British in Second World War. So for our support to the Britain in the World War, we expected and demanded they should declare self rule for Indians. So here Congress demanded that in return for Indian support to the British in the Second World War, India should be given self rule. Which one? Self rule. This is the demand of our Congress. But British was not interested to accept this demand. So British government was not interested in it and refused it. So there the Congress Working Committee decided pass a resolution in the meeting conducted at Bombay on 8th August 1942. There, the Congress Working Committee held a meeting on 8th August 1942 at Bombay. There, they passed a resolution very clearly that British rule should come to end in India immediately. Okay, this is the resolution they have accepted and passed it on 8th August in 1942 at Bombay. What was the resolution? The resolution is British rule in India should end immediately. Immediately they should vacate our India. Understand? This is the what to call a resolution they have passed at a Bombay meeting on 8th August 1942. Okay, so there the evening after that the Quit India resolution was passed. On the day in the evening, there another resolution passed, that is Quit India resolution. That means Britishers, we should fight against the British in quitting them. Quitting means moving, making them to move out of India. Understand? So Quit India resolution was passed evening on 8th August. Mahatma Gandhi addressed on that day with memorable words to the Indian people. In his own words, Mahatma Gandhi stated, every one of you should from this moment onwards consider yourself a free man or woman and act as if you are free. I am not going to be satisfied with anything short for complete freedom. We shall do or die. We shall either free India or die in the attempt. This is the exact words extracted from the speech of Mahatma Gandhi. On that day, that is on 8th August evening, Mahatma Gandhi addressed that to all Indians, saying that today onwards everyone should feel that free man. Everyone should feel that free Indian. That means India got independence. Okay. He called for men and women, saying that everyone should feel that they are free from the British rule. Okay. And Gandhiji stated that further he would not be happy anything which is less to the complete freedom. That means Gandhiji stated in his words that he want complete freedom. So whatever is less, okay, whatever is less to the complete freedom, with that he was not going to satisfy. And he stated that every Indian should fight for free India, or they should die in attempting it. No one should be inactive. Okay, whether it is men or women, all should make an attempt in getting independence to India, or in that attempt they should die. And that is the address of Mahatma Gandhi with do or die. Understand? So in the early hours on 9th August 1942, after this next day, That is on 9th August 1942. Okay, there the government, British government arrested very important and active leaders because the news spread to the British government that this Quit India movement is going to create big trouble for Britishers. So they wanted to arrest important leaders who were very active and leaders of guiding the movement. So there on 9th August 1942, early hours in the morning, British government arrested Mahatma Gandhi ji, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Nehru, Maulana Azad, Acharya Kripalini, Rajendra Prasad. These are the important leaders. They were sentenced to what jail. Okay. When leaders were in jail, the movement will come to end. Okay. That is the thought of the Britishers. So when these leaders were arrested, remaining people to show protest against the arrest of these important leaders, they they demonstrated, conducted hartals, strikes, they took rallies throughout the country. This movement was going very peacefully with the non-violence. Unluckily, unfortunately, what happened, it also turned to violent movement. Understand? There, the working class, that means workers in the factories, they boycotted to work in the factories. They stopped. They stopped working in factories. So working class in the sense workers. They boycotted factories. Students also boycotted the colleges and they attacked the police stations. This is the no, what you call violent incident happened there. So students who were young and very hunger, their blood is very warm, so that they did not stick to the peace and non-violence, which are the great weapons of Mahatma Gandhi. So youth, they will be very active, very hunger, their blood always warm. So that the youth, they attacked students, they attacked the police stations, post offices, and railway stations also, and some other public places. That means parks. Okay, they cut off telegraph and telephone wires, which helping the Britishers to communicate. They removed railway tracks. Our Indian leaders, our Indian people, especially the students, they boycotted the colleges. They joined the Quit India movement. So in the Quit India movement, they removed the railway tracks. They cut the lines of telephone and telegraph. They burnt government buildings, government vehicles, military vehicles, and railway carriages. That means railway, what you call cabins. This happened throughout India and at Madras and Bombay. These were very much okay. At Madras and Bombay, we see there were most violent things, most affected in this respect. The British authority disappeared in parts of Uttar Pradesh. That means Uttar Pradesh become free from the British rule. In such a way, we see that students acted instant. So here Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, then Odisha, West Bengal, then Maharashtra, then Andhra Pradesh. In all these places, there was a disappearance of British, what to call rule. That means through totally they have become free from the British. In Midnapur, in West Bengal and Midnapur, people they started their own government parallel to the British government. In 1942 and 44, at Midnapur, Indian people set up their own government. So, with this Quit India movement, 10 lakh pounds worth of property was destroyed at that time. It is in the British currency. British currency is pounds. So 10 lakh pounds worth of property was destroyed in Quit India movement. 30 police personnel and 10 army men they lost their lives in Quit India movement. Many people were killed in Quit India movement. Thousands of people they got injured and they were arrested in this Quit India movement. Government started. British government did lathi charge, police firings in Quit India movement. So in British lathi charge and police firing, thousands of people were killed and many were taken to the custody. By the end of 1943, we see that there this Quit India movement also come to end. Understand? By the end of 1943, the British government succeeded suppressing this movement very successfully. 90,000 people were arrested. 1,000 people, around 1,000 killed in police firing. That means 1,000 Indian people were killed in police firing. In many places, their British government have given order to the machine guns. Machine guns, there will be flow of bullets. So machine gun was allowed to shoot on Indians. So in many places, the British government passed an order to use the machine guns on the people. Even aeroplanes also they used. So the rebellion, however, ultimately brought the British Raj to its knees. That means we were, our Indian people, we did not fear of it. We continued to fight for freedom. Ultimately, it brought the British government to the knees of us. That means they bended to our fight and stand. So this is the what Quit India movement, which given a blow for the British. They understood that if it is not today, tomorrow or one day they have to vacate India. It is not their native place, right? So we people were continuing several movements we started. If Quit India movement is not successful, there would be another movement, right? We would continue our movements until we get independent. That is the what point Britishers have understood. So they had come down for our movements instead. Look at here the important leaders who participated here. This is a Bhagat Singh, you know very well. He is a very important leader. Uh, he is a symbol for youth, for patriotism. Subhash Chandra Bose also very important leader who founded a Indian National Army. We'll discuss it later. J.B. Kripalani and Abdul Kalam Azad. These were the what important leaders. They were sentenced to what jail during the what Quit India movement time. Understand? So in this way, we see that the Quit India movement succeeded bringing the what Britishers what to call down for our activities. Instead, here Subhash Chandra Bose played a very important role during the freedom movement. Understand, when Quit India movement was going, Subhash Chandra was also what a very uh, important leader. Understand, look at that. Subhash Chandra Bose started a Indian National Army, that what we call Azad Hind Fauj. Understand, Subhash Chandra Bose belongs to the what to call a Swarajist party. He set up a party called Swarajist. Understand, and he moved with a radical approach. Understand? He organized one army, that is Indian National Army. In short, it is called INA. Okay, and he worked with the Ras Bihari Bose, who is in Burma and Andamans. That means Andaman Nicobar Islands. So with the army of what you call Indian soldiers who worked for British, with them British Subhash Chandra Bose founded this Indian National Army, INA, in the sense Indian National Army, or Azad Hindu Fauj we call it. So Indian National Army consisted of more than 60,000 soldiers. This is the great work of Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose created Indian Army with more than 60,000 soldiers. Understand? He received somewhat support and help from the Japan. Japan fought against the Britain in Second World War. So Japan, which was enemy to Britain, that helped the what Indians. So Subhash Chandra Bose wanted to take the support of Japan, whereas Gandhiji was not interested. Gandhiji wanted that Indian people are strong enough to fight for independence, whereas Subhash Chandra Bose wanted that we should fight against the Britain, which is our enemy, right? So that we should take the support of Japan. Gandhiji wanted that nobody could be liberated to India. In history, we should have a name that India itself fought for what independence. So here, Subhash Chandra Bose was not interested with the Gandhiji's views. So there, Subhash Chandra Bose and Gandhiji, they have gone on the way they believed. Understand? So Subhash Chandra Bose way was against what Gandhiji. Understand? So with the help of Japan, on 21st October, when it is on 21st October 1943, Subhash Chandra Bose, with the support of Japan, he formed Government of India. That is Free Government of India. It is called Azad Hind. Hind means India. Understand? Azad means freedom. So independent Indian government was set by Subhash Chandra Bose on 21st October 1943 with the help of Japan in Singapore, where he found it in Singapore. Again, on March 18, 1944, this INA, Indian National Army, crossed the boundary of Burma and entered India with a slogan Delhi Chalo. That means to fight to fight against the British. See, Indian National Army was founded in Japan. Our Indian soldiers who were fighting in Second World War on behalf of Britain, they were captured by Japan. So Subhash Chandra Bose went to Japan, talked to the Japan government, and what you call taken the soldiers who were imprisoned there. We call them prisoners of war. Prisoners of war in the sense soldiers who were arrested in the war. So Japan arrested some of the Indian soldiers who were fighting for Britain in Second War, and those are called prisoners of war. So with the prisoners of war, Subhash Chandra Bose formed Indian National Army at Japan, and